Well, one of the few advantages of my skeletal form is that I'm unaffected by electric shocks. This is shaping up to be very fruitful fishing, finally.
I can't believe you did it.
I am a real pro. What can you do?
Why don't you take a look at your pockets?
How on earth did you do it?
When you spend your life escaping from the IRS, you can't survive without certain tricks.
And how did you end up running a carousel?
Social services. Anyway, with that coupon, you can collect a prize of your choice at the Gypsy kiosk just outside the city. Oh, I almost forgot. Be careful going around with that other little bag I gave you.
Oh God, what other little bag?
I was just joking.
You're not funny at all. For me, it will always be inseparably bound to the perception of two dogs eating spaghetti and meatballs in the moonlight. Thanks a lot, Walt. Not worth it. You should have gathered by now that I haven't got a great feel for musical instruments. What is it, postmodern art?
Nah, you're right. I really can't come up with nothing interesting.
Like what?
Well, bro, I don't know. Something that conveys strong emotion, gets people's attention, something that grabs you, but original once in a while. Tired of riding A-cab on the monuments, yo. You hear me, bro?
I'll think about it. Maybe I'll have a good idea.
Sweet.
Sorry to bother you, but you seem familiar.
You probably saw me in a game show in the past. You know, I was a pro gamer once.
Judging by how you're doing now, it seems something went wrong.
Carpal tunnel. I slowly lost mobility and reactivity. It cut me out of the pro circuit.
I imagine more like an arrow in the wrist or something like that.
Arrow in the wrist.
Never played Skyrim?
Sorry, just beat 'em ups.
Then you suffer the proper punishment. I've bothered him enough. I'll let him rest this time. I can't even imagine what's inside that slop. Negative. I'd become a victim of their fury, inevitably. And I still care to keep both my hands. What do you think I am? I doubt the Ego people will ever stop to thank the Duffer Brothers. I wonder how much they've earned thanks to Stranger Things. If I were you, I'd let it go. That little girl becomes a really dangerous cookie when she gets mad. Okay, I grant you the rationale of my malnutrition and baldness, but I'm not the one with the paranormal powers and a strange obsession for waffles. Hello?
What's with a concerned face? You never saw a puppet before?
Sure, but not one handled with invisible strings by a headless puppeteer. And able to speak, by the way.
Do you have a problem with me not being controlled by strings?
Well, no.
And maybe it's illegal for a puppet to have a nice voice like mine?
That's not what I meant. You women are really impossible. I won a coupon at the carousel.
Choose your favorite prize.
Anything?
Anything.
I'd like to have the legless amiibo of Princess Peach.
I gave out the last one just yesterday, but you're in luck. I can give you this.
Let's have a look. How is it possible that all this stuff could fit inside such a small package? Exactly like these things are really supposed to happen. In this video game, some phrases are a bit too literal. Not bad. Now you really have an aggressive look.
I have to admit it, I'm really pumped for it.
Do you think you can sing a metal song now?
Which one do you want to hear?
Do you know Knockin' on Ronald's Door by Plums and Roses?
I don't think I've ever heard of it, sadly. But the title reminds me of something.
Do you know Livin' on a Wardrobe by Bones Jovi?
I know the band, but not that song.
Do you know Born to be Rot by Steppin' Nut?
Never heard of it.
Do you know The Power of Death by Skinny Goes to Hollywood?
Wasn't it The Power of Love?
That was a song from the Back to the Future soundtrack. Forget it. You'll sing something for me next time. This is a cool track. I've never heard it. Too bad I don't know the title. I don't know the name of it, but do you know a song that goes like this?
Oh yes, I get it. I love that song.
Are you ready?
This time, I really messed up big time. Let's just hope this is the right time. Sometimes the best thing to do is not ask any questions. The color would match the one on my sweater, too. I'm obviously joking. Forget it. I'm only required to wear the Mickey Mouse ears, as per my contractual obligation. Am I right, developers? He's even scarier life-sized. I'm afraid the opposite could happen.
I like to be hugged.
That explains the bullhorns. Gross! There's still someone who insists on playing hide and seek? Certain people just don't want to grow up. What are you doing hiding down there?
How do I put this? I may have gotten myself in serious trouble.
Who exactly is looking for you? This room is a continuous coming and going of couples.
Actually, everyone. Let's just say that I've screwed up a bit too much recently.
You have all my respect. They seem to be wedding rings. Further proof of the high esteem the fairer sex holds for rabbits. Cool your jets.
What do you want?
The bedroom on the upper floor is empty now, as promised.
Really? I'm calling my gang now. Be still her. Take the guys and go to the dump. Don't waste my time. I don't care what you do now. It's all fixed. Go now. Hanky Panky room is ready.
Wow, they couldn't control themselves any longer. Everything okay? We'll never know what goes on in that little alien head of his. Somebody here seriously needs some Xanax. He looks like the school bully who always pounded on me. No freaking way! There must be a serious lack of good players in this city. It's all ready. We can get started.
Where do you want us to take it?
Friday Avenue, number 13.
Do you have any idea how far that is from here? We're heading to the party. The best we can do is take it over there.
I'll settle for that.
Do you hear that? Let's move.
It seems that part has finally arrived. Is everything working now?
The courier took a little convincing, but in return, the carburetor was perfect.
I absolutely offer myself as a guinea pig to test it then.
Really? Have you got any idea of the possible side effects? Time paradoxes, inability to come back.
Risk of incest with his own mother.
Possible annihilation, chromosome mutations. I can go on for hours.
Let's say I've got nothing to lose.
It's okay by me then. There's only one problem. I've finished all the plutonium, and it'll be a couple of days until my trusted dealer can find some new stock. So you'll have to wait.
I'll come back later. See you then. Maybe this might be interesting for you?
Where did you find that?
Here and there.
Okay. Pour in exactly 3 milliliters for every dozen years you want to go back. Add another 2 milliliters to run the machine, and 1 milliliter every half hour of real-time utilization. Be as precise as possible.
Okay, no problem.
The machine will start as soon as you have inserted the destination date in the appropriate display. Avoid traveling into the future. The process partly uses the geomagnetic field of the Earth, and possible changes could stop you from coming back. Just remember, you can't jump from time to time. Every time you're forced to return to the present.
Will you be much longer?
The doors are automatic, so stay in the vicinity. Some animals could enter the machine and come back instead of you by accident. And remember to be careful to never interfere with the space-time continuum.
Yeah, whatever. How much plutonium did he say I have to pour exactly? Well, I'll abound. What's the worst that could happen? But that's Grandma. Ronald's grandma, I mean. Hi, Grandma. I'm Ronald. Grandma, I can't really understand what you're saying.
Damn my age. Ronald, Grandma's sweetheart, you came to see me? You're so emaciated. Are you eating enough?
I have a serious allergy to plums that totally ruined my will to live.
Well, sometimes we all get a bit constipated. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Try some baked apples or kiwis.
Grandma, didn't you have yourself cremated?
Do you really think I'd let them lock me up in a vase? I corrupted the gravedigger by telling him to fill the urn with chewing gum.
I noticed that.
Your favorites. Anything for my little Ronnie.
It'd really be too much for her. What is Grandpa doing over there?
He's been trying to get out of his coffin for days now. Except every time he forgets to watch his head.
Well, at least he leaves you alone.
It's about time. It wasn't enough for him to torture me when I was alive. I didn't even have time to die before he felt compelled to do the same.
I'll come back and visit you very soon, Grandma.
Wait a minute, Ronald. It's dangerous out there. It's full of atheists. Take this.
Your firecrackers or your life?
Do you think you can scare someone dressed like that?
Not even a fly.
Now that I notice, I've never seen a more ridiculous Halloween costume.
Really awful.
I'm afraid I will just have to come up with something else. Nowadays, our generation is too desensitized by TV and video games. Thanks a lot, HBO. Grandma, 2 kids are out here making fun of me.
Is someone being mean to my little Ronnie? Brats. Don't worry, honey. Now Grandma will take care of them. You should have seen their faces.
Can we go on, please? Jumanji, a game for those who seek to find a way to leave their world behind. Surely life in the wardrobe ain't easy, but it's better than living in the jungle. I'm almost tempted to leave the first roll of the dice to you. I think I see something that glitters in the net. Serves me right. Next time I'd better mind my own business.
Good God! Who goes there, prithee?
My name is Manny. Manny Calavera. Yeah, I am the Grim Reaper. I didn't want to scare you, Mr. Manet. Your reputation precedes you, you know.
Well, you flatter me.
But now, enough with the pleasantries. That's not why I'm here.
I guess my time has come.
Correct. But not entirely accurate. I could give you a second chance.
Anything, but spare my life. I beg you.
Add me to your painting, then. In the sea, possibly large and highly visible.
But that's a preposterous demand. It would be completely disproportionate. Not to mention that it would absolutely ruin the scene's pathos.
Do I take that as a no, then?
Forgive me, Grim Reaper. You'll have your wish.
The rust is not there anymore. Inside, there are just apple seeds. But if you really want them...
Oh, God! What's that terrible smell? You must absolutely take a bath. Grab this.
Better not bother him again. Do you need some more bubble bath by any chance? I have a bottle of it here with me.
Okay, you can go in. You can lay it down on the bubble bath shelf.
What are you doing locked in here?
I'm enjoying some well-earned rest. I work as a security guard at the city museum, so situations like this don't come around that often. Luckily, Ralph, my cousin, hates Halloween and offered to cover for me.
A security guard for the museum is really necessary on Halloween night?
That's what I told the union. But do you think they listen? Anyway, take this. To repay the favor of the bubble bath. It's a bit wet.
I don't even want to know where you kept it.
The museum is closed to the public, but you can enter with this pass if you find yourself in that area. If you go, let me know if that midget has everything under control.
The revenge of millions of goldfish ruthlessly flushed down the toilet. I don't feel right putting it back in a glass bowl. Why don't you sit on it? First rule for good personal hygiene, never neglect your own personal hygiene. Oh no, I've seen what happens in jail. It wouldn't be a bad idea, but first I have more urgent things to think about. And here I thought you were the only one with such a low IQ. I don't want to risk cracking my phalanges. I am pleased to note that you are intent on proving your superior stupidity. The best way to attract likes on social networks. Maybe you're used to this, but certain self-gratifying practices are not my thing. Let's just say my soul is not the only thing death took from me. How to lose your beauty in 30 seconds. Well, it's water resistant for sure. Not before he's done with his bath.
Days.
Only thing missing was the poser dinosaurs. Accept defeat, Rex. You can never compete in a race with the Velociraptors. Winter is coming. Isn't it a bit dishonorable for a knight to keep a shawl on its shoulders?
Do you have any idea how cold it is in this tin box? I am almost 1,000 years old now. I must think about how to protect my bones too.
Isn't it time that you retire after all these years?
I'd like that. Believe me, I'd like that very much. But unfortunately, the Duke has never paid for my honored services.
I never knew David Bowie recruited knights.
I'm not talking about the thin white Duke, but about the black Duke.
Ah, I see.
What do you want?
Do you like being a night watchman?
I'm filling in for my cousin, just for tonight.
Yes, he told me.
So you probably know I accepted because I hate Halloween. It gets on my nerves.
What kind of childhood trauma did you suffer to have such an aversion?
Once a guy slammed a gigantic pumpkin right on my head. It took 4 days before doctors could get me out of it.
Maybe that chair is a bit too high for you.
And to think it was the smallest one I could lay my hands on.
I suppose you needed a ladder to sit on it.
At least I can easily get to the console this way.
Your cousin wanted to know if it was all okay here.
Yeah, right. I have so many unruly visitors to keep at bay. What is he afraid of? The Anubis statues will come back to life?
What about that heart rate monitor?
I'm a heart patient. I need it to check my pulse.
Maybe if you didn't drink so much coffee.
That's easy for you to say. Night shifts here are deadly boring.
Small, chubby, and a heart patient. Is there anything else?
Your sarcasm leaves me completely indifferent. You have the reigning national champion of the insult contest in front of you, in case you didn't know.
Nobody and nothing can beat my sharp tongue.
Show me then.
You will never be half the guard your cousin is, that's for sure.
That's more than I can endure.
From the look of things, the pumpkin shape on your skull is still visible.
The pain it causes me to talk of that fruit makes me miserable.
In my excitement of Star Wars: The Phantom Menace, I couldn't stay in my seat.
Ugh, my asthma. I can't breathe.
Your Netflix subscription has been hacked. It's not a bad idea, but what do I need a photo of that room for? The Drakkar sailing is proceeding smoothly. Nothing to report from ancient Egypt. The T-Rex keeps going with his training. No sign of any visitors. The soldiers are still operational and in action. Everything's fine in the botany room.
It's a trap!
Sorry guys, but I can't fill my sweater with thorns. Smooched by hundreds of ugly spinsters because of a ridiculous fairy tale. Man, I don't envy that guy at all. Hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my ragtime gal. No, right? Monkeys are always so adorably irreverent. Don't even think about starting some strange snowball battle, I warn you.
Though the plant kingdom can seem harmless, there's an incredible variety of ways it could lead to your demise. In the Renaissance era, belladonna was used by ladies as eye drops to give a certain shine to their eyes, but its berries are potentially lethal. The oleander, one of the most common flowering plant species in the Mediterranean area, is poisonous enough to be avoided instinctively by the whole plant kingdom. Beware the classic health axiom of an apple a day. The seeds, if ingested in large quantities, can actually cause death. In short, if you're vegetarian or vegan, your days are numbered. Eat meat. Though, come to think of it, meat causes cancer. You all die. The reasons leading to the outbreak of the Second World War are various and complex. The conflict lasted for 6 years, from 1939 to 1945. The parties involved and battlegrounds fought were numerous too. After all, they called it a world war for a good reason. Therefore, what we propose today is a brief, intense, and pragmatic summary of the entire conflict.
Funny.
I got a D in history in junior high, so go easy on me.
When I was young, I always dreamed of having one of these all of my own. And I still dream it now that there's one in front of me. I'm afraid it's just a showpiece. They'll have only left the external bodywork and very little else on the inside. Surely the rodeo act that's both most amazing and inappropriate of all time. If I were you, I wouldn't make fun of that missile. That big Nazi of a doctor is still giving thanks. I may have put the guard out of the game, but I remind you that the area is still watched by cameras. First of all, we extract the gunpowder, and now... With such threatening bows, I can only imagine the effect it would have to face them on the high seas.
In contrast to popular belief, the Vikings weren't just wild and savage people. Besides being great explorers and naval engineers, Vikings were gifted in jewelry and in the art of commerce. Furthermore, the women were more liberated and independent compared to their European counterparts. Vikings really cared about their personal care. They had a sauna once a week. They removed unwanted hair and used iron sticks to clean their ears. There were no ranks or grades. The commander was the captain of the ship. Warriors could either be common citizens or professionals. Among these combatants were the berserkers, warriors sworn to the supreme god of war, Odin. Legend told that they were invulnerable. It is believed they consumed a specific drug made by alcohol, jalapeno, and the green secretion of the evil egg, one of the most lethal mushrooms in the wild. Different from other populations, the Egyptians were perhaps the best known among historic civilizations. To avoid being redundant, we'll examine some of their false myths to offer some clarity. Tutankhamun, one of the most famous Egyptian pharaohs, actually reigned only 10 years and died at the age of 18. What made him famous is the myth of the curse linked to desecrating his grave. Lord Carnarvon, financier of his expedition, died 1 year before the discovery of King Tut's grave, while actually the average lifespan of Carter and all the other archaeologists was around 70 years. Also fake is the myth about the construction of pyramids. They were not built by slaves, but by paid workers. Since there was no currency, workers were paid with barter, especially bread and beer. Fantastic people, aren't they?
It's a real shame this is just a reproduction. You look like you're waiting for someone.
I'm waiting for one of my countless suitors to get the nerve to come forward.
What would keep them from doing it?
Exactly what I've been asking myself. I'm afraid everybody is too scared of my beauty.
The burden of being so beautiful, yes. What should this mythical Prince Charming be like?
For centuries now, I've been waiting. We queens too have certain needs to satisfy. I just want to find a good mummy to spend the rest of infinity with.
That shouldn't be so difficult after all.
Don't rub it in.
What happened to the pharaoh?
The servants found him dead, poisoned by the bite of a snake. I remember I was so angry with him. Not that the two things were connected, obviously.
Of course, of course. I have a dilemma.
Don't you think you're too young?
What?
You can't be more than 15. Well, it's true that my beauty transcends age after all.
Actually, I didn't want to hit on you.
Do you think I'm not attractive enough?
No, absolutely, you are. I didn't mean to.
You better.
I'll leave you to your undertakings, my queen. I have a letter from Mr. Silence.
What a sweet little wrapped fluffy. Yes, I think I'll accept his proposal. Let's just skip the small talk and the engagement ring. I have no time to waste. Did you bring the wedding rings?
I have the wedding rings with me, my queen.
What are you standing there for? Find us a priest to perform our wedding ceremony.
Actually, I think I've already done more than enough.
It's an order! We're having the ceremony over at the meteor at the Roswell Lake. What a romantic place. Now go. I have to get ready.
Listen, Son of God, since you're one of the Creator's superstars, I was wondering if you could preside over the wedding of a friend of mine.
Well, actually, I'm the owner of that massive franchise of chapels, churches, and cathedrals. Who better than me, right? I'm just a little too drunk. I could use a very small bit of help, but not from above, because if my father sees me in this condition, I'll have to wait millennia for the next coming. Short review on I now pronounce you happily ever after. Now you can kiss the bride, but discreetly. That kind of thing.
Could this help?
Oh, just what I needed. We'll see you at the wedding then.
But you don't even know where the wedding is.
Brother, I may be wasted, but I'm still omniscient after all. See you later.
28 days.
I'm definitely not a military forces expert. My knowledge stops at Gunnery Sergeant Hartman. You've seen too many Lupin the Third episodes. Okay, that is definitely not a good idea. Hey, honey, look what I have for you. So, you were a carnivorous plant guard. Why open it when you could simply eradicate it barehanded from its concrete block? Thanks a lot for enlightening me. I have no idea what the combination could be. I would need something to attach it to the safe. You didn't think for a moment that someone might hear the bang of the explosion and call the police?
28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds. That is when the world will end.
Can you turn the music up full volume? I don't think he can hear me. Can you turn the music up full volume?
Days, 6 hours, 42 minutes.
"30 seconds should be enough. Maybe I overdid it with the gunpowder. Done. Why the sad face?
Everyone my own age has bouncy and long hair. What about me? I practically lost mine.
Losing your hair in the 80s is just about the worst thing that could happen.
By the power vested in me by my father, I now pronounce you man and wife. And now come back home to update your relationship status on Facebook.
Be quiet!
Hello, Hippie Express Courier. How can I help you?
Good evening. I'd like to arrange the delivery of a casket to number 13 Friday Avenue. Expenditures are charged to the consignee.
Are you aware of the packaging regulations of our service?
Tell me.
To avoid damage during transportation, we ask you to wrap the object with a material that can soften impact. Usually it's plastic or bubble wrap, but you can use any solution you prefer.
Yes, that's no problem.
We also ask that the outer casing of the package is absolutely water resistant. It might seem a strange demand, but in the past, our drivers have shown a certain fondness for watercourses in this area.
I'm equipped for that too.
And finally, it is necessary to identify the package with a written note clearly indicating its contents.
Yes, Alex, I have the solution.
Sorry, I don't think I heard correctly.
Oh, I mean, no problem.
I'll authorize a courier for your delivery. Thanks for calling us. Goodbye.
I'm waiting for a courier to take the wardrobe away. Could you maybe pack me inside using this kit? I have to create a nice prank.
Dude, I'm always ready to help out with these kind of things. I wish I could see his face. I can't imagine what a fright he will have.
Neither can I. Believe me. Ronald? Ronald, wake up! Ronald, it's me, Skinny. Do you really not recognize me? Remember? Me and you were going to conquer the world. We kept on saying that we were meant to do great things. Well, in a way, I guess that happened, but nobody could have imagined all this. You couldn't know about my allergy. Even I wasn't aware of it. Ultimately, there are a lot of perks to being dead. I have an infinite amount of free time, and I can eat everything I want without being worried about my weight. I'm even immune to electricity. Like I'm a superhero. I'm sorry you suffered so much. I know how tough things have been for you since that day. You have nothing to blame yourself for, believe me. I have nothing to blame you for. I couldn't breathe. I just heard you screaming. It wasn't difficult to understand what was going on, but incredibly, that was the last thing I remember. No light to follow, no extracorporeal experience, just a big nothing. Disappointing, don't you think? When I finally woke up, all was dark. It took me a while to realize I was in a wardrobe. In this wardrobe. I know, it's really absurd, but it's the truth. I've been brought back to life and now I'm a skeleton. You have to go back to talking. If you don't tell somebody about what happened that day, you'll end up being damned for eternity. That's why I'm here. Because I love you, Ronald.
Skinny. Skinny, wait! Don't go!
This party really died. Ah, yes, I almost forgot.